Hello everyone. Let's start with morphological and anatomical characteristic of human, chimpanzees, gorilla, orangutan, and gibbon. So these great apes, which include chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutan, and gibbon, along with human, they belong to biological superfamily Hominoidea. कल इसके लिए जो वीडियो बनाया था. And despite sharing a common ancestry, they have evolved distinct anatomical and morphological traits which reflect their unique adaptation to different environment and lifestyle. And let's start with each of these characteristics one by one. So first, body size and shape. So understanding body size and shape, it offers key insight into their locomotor behavior, ecological adaptation, and evolutionary history. And these five major hominoids, humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, orangutan, and gibbon, demonstrate both shared traits and common and unique differences or derived traits. First, humans or Homo sapiens. So, humans exhibit a tall, upright, orthograde body plan with long legs and relatively short arms, which are key adaptation for habitual bipedalism. Habitual bipedalism means regular, permanent bipedalism. And this body proportion, with having long legs and shorter arms, it increases walking efficiency and endurance over longer distances. Then humans have a short, broad, and bowl-shaped pelvis, and this pelvis it supports the internal organs, the abdominal organs during upright walking, and we also have large gluteal muscles that are essential for balance and movements. The gluteal muscles, also known as glutes, they are the muscles that forms buttocks. Now, the limb proportions in humans, they reflect a locomotor strategy that is entirely terrestrial. So we have an S-shaped spinal cord, which helps maintain balance during bipedal grade and absorption. Our rib cage, it is barrel shaped, which contrasts with more conical thorax of quadrupedal apes, of other apes. So this barrel shaped rib cage, it is essential for expansion of lungs during endurance walking or running. And finally comes sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means differences in size and secondary sexual characteristic between males and females. So this sexual dimorphism in body size, it is moderate in humans, with the males are generally being larger than females, but this sexual dimorphism, it is less pronounced than other species like gorillas. Now let's talk about chimpanzees. So they have robust and muscular build with long arms that extend well past their knees, and they have shorter legs. So you can see here, arms are very long and legs are shorter, which is this proportion, it is inverse to what we have in humans. So this intermembral index, which is the ratio of arm to leg length, it supports the primary mode of locomotion, which is knuckle walking. Knuckle walking means to walk on your knuckles while fingers are folded. So this intermembral index, having long arms and short legs, it is for knuckle walking and arboreal lifestyle for climbing in trees. Then, although they are primarily quadrupedal, means primarily they walk on their four, but sometimes they are seen occasionally walking upright for short distances, especially by carrying objects, tools, babies. Then their torso, which means the upper body, it is relatively short and compact. And they have shoulder joints that are highly flexible, which is especially important for arboreal movement because when you hang and leap from one branch to another, so this shoulder dexterity is essentially important. Then they have narrow pelvis, and this pelvis, it is more elongated than that of humans. So this elongation, the narrow and elongated pelvis, it reflects a locomotor pattern which combine climbing and knuckle walking. Then, as of sexual dimorphism, chimpanzees, uh, their sexual dimorphism, is comparable to that of humans, with the males are typically larger and more muscular than female. But uh, again, this sexual dimorphism is not as prominent as in gorillas. जो आप देखते हैं. The gorillas, they are the largest living primates, and adult males, especially the silverbacks, they can weigh up to 140 to 200 kg or more, and their body is extremely muscular or bulky, and where the design is for string rather than speed. Then they have very long arms. So जहाँ भी long arms दिखे, समझ लेना कि that long arms are specially built for arboreal lifestyle, and long legs are built for terrestrial walking. So they have long arms, short and thick legs, and that supports knuckle walking gait. Then their chest is wide and barrel shaped, and they have protruding abdomen. Protruding means bahar nikla hua. So a protruding abdomen due to large plant digesting cut. And unique feature, they have relatively straight spine, and as a pelvis, it is long and narrow, which is consistent with quadrupedal locomotion. Now, finally, second unique feature, that they have highly pronounced sexual dimorphism, with males being significantly larger than females, and they have large sagittal crest. So sagittal crest, so it's like if it is a skull, so a ridge, a kind of a bone ridge that runs along the middle of skull, which is important for chewing, especially chewing fibrous plant. So gorillas, they have uh, large sagittal crest on the middle of their skulls. Now proceed on to orangutans. So they are the only great apes that are native to Asia, and they are primarily adapted to arboreal life. They have exceptionally long arms, which sometimes up to twice the length of their legs, which enable them to brachiate and climb through forest canopies. Then their body is more slender and less stocky than gorilla, but still powerful. And then if they are brachiating, or if they are climbing through branches, then they are likely to have flexible shoulder and hip joint, which allow them perform a wide range of motion needed for climbing, suspensory behavior, and they are mostly solitary and less terrestrial. Then a unique feature, that here mature males, they develop large cheek pads, and cheek pads are like cheek pouches. जो orangutan में दिखते हैं, especially in adult males, and they have throat sacs like heavy double chin you might see in many humans, and they have strong sexual dimorphism. And let's talk about gibbons. So they are the smallest and lightest of all hominoids, and where adults generally weigh between 5 to 12 kgs. And despite their small size, they exhibit the longest arm relative to body size among all primates. Again, if arms are longer, then the primary locomotion is brachiating. And that's why gibbons, they are known as a true brachiator or true arm swingers. So their slender bodies, their elongated limbs, and their lightweight skeleton, all these three things enable them to move swiftly and gracefully through the forest canopy. Then they have narrow torso, जो वो भी जरूरी है क्योंकि अगर brachiate कर रहे हैं, they are swinging from one tree to another. So torso, it shouldn't be heavier, and they have short lumbar region. Lumbar region means lower back. So torso short है, तो lower back भी short होगी, and both these feature, narrow torso and short lower back, they stabilize the body of gibbons while rapid swinging. Then they have shoulders that are extremely mobile, and this extreme mobility, it is facilitated by ball and socket joint in their shoulders. And since they are true brachiators, so these specialization are necessary for their arboreal agility. And finally, their sexual dimorphism is minimal because gibbons, they are also the true species that are monogamous. Monogamous means एक मेल फीमेल बॉन्डिंग जो है वो एक टाइम पे एक ही पर्सन के साथ है, जैसे आज के टाइम में ह्यूमंस के साथ देखते हैं. तो दिस माइट बी रीजन दैट they do not show any prominent sexual dimorphism. In both sexes, they are similar in size and body form. Now let's move on to the second characteristic, locomotion. Locomotion reflects how the bodies of primates have adapted to different environment over millions of years. Locomotion is closely tied to body structure, especially limbs, spine, pelvis, and even the placement of head, the foramen magnum. Let's see the breakdown one by one. First, humans. So we are the only primate that can walk fully upright on two legs all the time. That is called habitual bipedalism. And this is facilitated by some special adaptation. First, our spine is S-shaped, which keeps our body balanced. Then we have a short and bowl-shaped pelvis that supports the weight of internal organ during upright walking. Then humans have legs that are longer compared to arms, and that is a sign of terrestrial walking, and it increases walking efficiency. Then we have arched feet, means जो feet है वो पूरी तरह से flat नहीं है, and this arch helps absorb shock and store energy while walking. Then our big toe, it is non-opposable. Big toe यानी जो पैर का अंगूठा है, and this non-opposability makes walking stable. And finally, the foramen magnum. Foramen magnum, the hole where spinal cord enters the skull. या फिर the hole on which, by which the skull is placed on the spinal cord. It is located at the base of the skull, and this central placement, it keeps the head balanced while walking upright. Now let's talk about chimpanzees and gorillas. So both of them, they are quadrupedal, means they walk on their four, and they perform a special type of movement known as knuckle walking. Knuckle walking is like curling your hands, curling your fingers, and walking on them. So they walk on knuckles of their hands, keeping the finger curled under to support body weight. Then they have arms which are longer than their legs. Then their spine is C-shaped. We have S-shape, they have C-shape, which is suited for quadrupedal movement. And their foramen magnum, it is placed towards the back of the skull, which means a forward-leaning head posture. So the placement of skull, the curvature of spine, and the structure of pelvis, all of them, they work on the principle of CG, the center of gravity. It means that the internal organs and the solid organ, both of them, they should be placed in such a way that the shock and the weight, it is distributed evenly throughout all the organs or throughout all the major joints. अगर ये नहीं होगा, then उस तो कहीं ना किसी एक शोल्डर पे, एक जॉइंट पे, या किसी एक पोर्शन पे दे विल बी ग्रेटर वेट, और उसकी वजह से फ्रैक्चर्स पॉसिबल है. और इवन फ्रैक्चर भी ना हो तो मूवमेंट भी पॉसिबल नहीं होती है, मोबिलिटी विल नॉट बी पॉसिबल. तो ऑल दीज प्लेसमेंट, अगर आप सोच रहे हैं कि स्पाइन शी शेप्ड क्यों है, देन जो फोरामेन मैग्नम है वो anteriorly placed क्यों है towards the back of skull. So all of these placements, they are because of center of gravity, so that जो भी body weight है and then the external shocks, all of them, they can be distributed evenly throughout the body. And then orangutan. So orangutan are highly adapted to arboreal lifestyle, a life in the trees, and they move in a unique way, which is known as quadrumanous climbing. That means they use all four limbs, both hands and feet, for grasping branches. Then they are move slowly and carefully, planning each movement in a high forest canopy to avoid fall. And unlike gibbons, they do not swing rapidly from branch to branch, but instead they climb and hang slowly, and then they plan their movement and move across from one branch to another, or from across the forest canopy. And then their bodies are adapted for this lifestyle. They have long arms, which is necessary for suspensory motions, for clinging onto tree branches. Then they have rotating shoulder joints, क्योंकि if swinging motions हैं तो shoulder joints जो हैं वो भी strong होने चाहिए and should be rotating, otherwise वही है, fracture हो जाएगा. Weight distribution, the pressure distribution will not be even. And then they have flexible hips that help navigate complex tree environments. If you are going to ask me why are hips flexible here, especially in their arboreal lifestyle, so the hip flexibility, because these ape species, they do not have tail, and the other species and new world monkeys and old world monkeys, all of them, they have tail. So the tail is a balancing mechanism. It balances, especially by swinging across the trees. But tail नहीं है, so this balancing mechanism will not be there. और balancing mechanism नहीं है, तो जो body weight है, it will not be distributed evenly, or a surprise movement, a sudden jerk, a great leap, they will not be facilitated. तो ऐसे में there should be a mechanism कि even if the mobility is totally precarious or totally unforeseen, ऐसे में बॉडी मैनेजमेंट के लिए, बॉडी वेट मैनेजमेंट के लिए, या सिर्फ सिंपली बॉडी बैलेंस करने के लिए कोई मैकेनिज्म होना चाहिए. तो फ्लेक्सिबल हिप्स आर देयर दैट दे कैन move their hips in in a wide range of motion, or this movement help them distribute the weight, or to arrive at a centralized weight placement that is known as center of gravity. Now, gibbons, so they are the most acrobatic of all primates, and their the unique mode of movement is through graduation. So they swing from one branch to another using their arms like a pendulum, and they have extremely long arms, and their shoulder joints are also mobile, which help them rotate their arms in wide circles. And they can walk bipedally on branches, holding their arms above their heads for balance. तो यहाँ पे एक और चीज आप देख सकते हैं, center of gravity, that gibbons, they can perform bipedal locomotion, especially while walking on branches. And now, to perform that feat, they need to adjust the center of gravity. They need to balance their body weight. उसके लिए they hold their head, their arms above their head. तो इससे क्या होता है कि बहुत सारा वेट जो होता है वो इवनली डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाता है. तो यही जो पर्पस था पहले, वो टेल्स का था. नाउ टेल्स आर नो लॉन्गर देयर, तो उसके लिए कोई ना कोई मैकेनिज्म है जिसकी वजह से वी आर बैलेंसिंग आवरसेल्व्स. एंड देन दे हैव लाइट वेट बॉडीज, एंड सो लाइट वेट बॉडीज है तो ट्रू ग्रेजुएशन कैन बी अकॉम्प्लिश्ड. क्योंकि अगर यही गोरिल्ला में देखेंगे तो गोरिल्ला, दे हैव मैसिव बॉडीज, so they are not the true brachiators. First, it is a limitation on the environment, क्योंकि वो मैसिव है, बट ट्री जो है, ये जो ब्रांचेस हैं, दे आर नॉट मैसिव, तो उसकी वजह से दे कैन नॉट लीप अक्रॉस ट्रीज. बट the gibbons lightweight bodies make it easier for them to swing and leap long distances between feet, and they are true leapers and jumpers. Means they can jump 40 times distances to their body weight. फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. The third characteristic, skull and cranial feature. So the shape and size of skull, especially the cranium, means brain case, and facial bones, they reveal a lot about brain development, diet, social behavior, and evolutionary adaptations. The first breakdown, humans. So they have the most specialized skulls, which is adapted to support a large brain and upright posture. So the cranium of humans, it is large, rounded, and high, and the brain capacity, the cranial capacity, is the largest among all primates, which is around 1350 to 1450 cubic centimeters. Then the forehead in human, it is tall and vertical, and this high, the tall and vertical forehead, it allows for more spaces for frontal lobes, and frontal lobes, they are responsible for planning, reasoning, and complex thinking. Forehead means जो आगे का जो माथा है, and this part of the brain case, it has evolved to accommodate frontal lobes. Now the face of human, it is flat and tucked under the brain case with no strong protrusion of the jaw. Protrusion means bahar nikla hua. So uh, our jaw, they are not that strong and no, not protruding. So we have orthognathic profile. We do not have any prominent brow ridges. Brow ridges जो eyebrow के ऊपर जो bones होती है, and then our unique feature that we have a well-developed chin, which is not found in any other primate. And finally, foramen magnum, जो आपको पहले ही बताया, the hole where spine connects the skull. It is placed centrally just beneath the skull, and that supports upright posture and bipedalism. Now, chimpanzees, they have smaller brain, around 350 to 400 cc. Then their skull is more elongated and lower, and they have less rounded cranium. तो आप वो तो आप समझ रहे हैं कि अगर ब्रेन साइज कम है तो जो क्रेनियम है उसकी साइज भी रिड्यूस होगी. But other morphological features, they have prominent brow ridges जो eyebrows के ऊपर हैं. Then their face, it protrudes forward. The jaw है वो बाहर निकला हुआ है. That's and that is called prognathic. And they have large jaws which are suitable for their omnivorous diet. And in adult males, they may be small sagittal crest. Sagittal crest, जो skull के बीच में, on the top of the skull, a ridge of bone that runs along the center of the skull. And sagittal crest, it is necessary, or it is there to support strong chewing or heavy chewing. Then, as of the foramen magnum, it is located anteriorly, means towards the back of the skull, and it is necessary for the quadrupedal motion. Now, gorillas, so they have powerful skull that is built for strength rather than fineness. So their brain size is larger than chimpanzees, around 500 to 600 cc, and their cranium, it is not as rounded, and their forehead, it slopes backward. जो आप देखेंगे जो उनका गोरिल्लाज का जो forehead है, it is like a sloping crown. Then the most striking features in adult male is very prominent sagittal crest and this attachment, it provides extra surface area or extra support for attachment of large jaw muscles. And दोनों का purpose, large jaw muscles or prominent sagittal crest, दोनों का यही है to chew tough and fibrous plant material. Then their face protrudes even more than in chimpanzees. Their jaw and teeth are also large. And their brow ridges are massive. And like chimpanzees, they have anteriorly placed foramen magnum. It is placed toward the back, which is suitable for their knuckle walking gait. And again, वही चीज कहूँगा, the placement of all these bones, or specifically placement of the cranial and postcranial features, all of them, they work on the principle of center of gravity. The balance, the body balance, it should be evenly distributed. Now let's move on to orangutans. Orangutans have a unique cranial feature that reflect their arboreal lifestyle and solitary behavior. Their brain size is moderate, around 400 to 500 cc, Then their face is high and narrow with domed skull. The skull is in shape of a dome. Then in mature males, they have large cheek pads or flanges, and these flanges they are thought to play a role in sexual selection and communication. And these flanges are nothing but uh, hairy cheek pouch. जो आप इनके पिक्स सर्च करेंगे स्पेशली एडल्ट orangutans तो आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. Then their jaw is strong and robust. So strong and robust jaw. This signifies a tough diet. Tough diet is किसकी हो सकती है या तो if it is about hard fibrous material और या फिर nuts हो सकता है. क्योंकि अगर आप कार्निवोरी की बात करें तो लाइक जो मीट खाते हैं कार्निवोर्स, यहाँ पे जो मीट ईटिंग है जो है या ये एक टफ च्यूइंग एक्सरसाइज नहीं है बिकॉज मीट इज लीनर. हाँ, और जो जो अटैक जो मैकेनिज्म है, अटैक और टीयरिंग ऑफ फ्लैश, टीयरिंग ऑफ मसल्स, उसके लिए उनके पास लार्ज कैनाइंस हैं कार्निवोर्स के अंदर. बट उन कार्निवोर्स में देखेंगे तो दे डू नॉट हैव प्रोट्रूडिंग एंड मैसिव जॉज. तो ये आपको समझ में आएगा कि मैसिव जॉज they signify that the diet is it is either consisted of hard fibrous material or nuts. So orangutans have strong jaws which are adapted for eating hard fruits and nuts, but they have less pronounced sagittal crest, which means they are not eating hard fibrous material. Gorillas, they eat hard fibrous material, so they have prominent sagittal crest. Then the brow ridges are present, but they are not as heavy. Again, the foramen magnum, it is still more posterior. So posterior placement, which signifies center of gravity, and center of gravity, if it is placed towards the back, which means the mode of locomotion, it is quadrupedal. And if it is placed to the right, towards the center, it means an upright posture or bipedalism, even if it is a occasional bipedalism or semi-bipedalism. So here their foramen magnum, it is posteriorly placed, means towards the center, and it reflects a semi-upright but arboreal posture. Now let's move on to gibbons. They are the small apes and perform arboreal locomotion. They have the smallest brain size among the apes, around 100 to 130 cc. Their skull is rounded and small. They have high forehead and their face is flatter and few heavy ridges or protrusion. And their brow ridges are mild. The jaws are small and light. And again, light, if jaws are light, it means they are not eating any hard um, tough chewable material. तो यहाँ पे light jaws है, so diet जो है fruits and leaves की. Then their foramen magnum, it is more centrally located, so that again central placement of foramen magnum which suggests uh, a shift towards bipedalism or semi-bipedalism. तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं this placement, it support their more upright or agile brachiating posture. क्योंकि ये आपको बताया था कि gibbons, they have seen to be walking on their 2 feet on tree branches. Then gibbons have skulls that support lightweight movement through trees, less aggressive chewing, and this aggression in chewing. It reflects their food-based diet and their monogamous social structure. फिर fourth characteristic पर बढ़ते हैं, dentition and jaw. The structure of teeth and jaw in primate reveal greatly about their diet, evolutionary adaptations, and even their social behavior. First, human Homo sapiens, so we have parabolic dental arch, and parabolic means U shape. जो हमारे teeth हैं, they are aligned in this way. And the canine teeth, the teeth that is next to incisor, they are small and not sharp because we have a generalized dentition. And then there's no large difference in size between male and female canines, which indicate less aggressive mate competition. जिन species में mate competition होता है between males, they have large canine, and sexual dimorphism is seen between male and female, especially about the canine shape. तो आप लायंस की बात कर लेते हैं या जितने भी कार्निवोर्स में हैं, उनमें जिनमें मेट मेट कॉम्पिटिशन्स हैं, तो वहाँ पे जो कनाइन है, द टीथ विच इज देयर फॉर टीयरिंग फ्लैश, तो ह्यूमंस के अंदर वो नहीं है. देन देयर इज नो डायस्टीमा. So diastema, it is a gap between canine and incisor. So if canines are larger, क्योंकि again canine serves two purpose. We can say three purpose. The first purpose, it is about tearing flesh. Then it is used in displays. जब भी मेल मेल कंपटीशन होता है उसमें डिस्प्ले में. एंड थर्ड, इट इज द मेट कंपटीशन. तो अगर कनाइंस, जैसे इंसानों में देखा है कि सेक्सुअल डायमॉर्फिज्म कनाइंस में नहीं है, तो नहीं है तो डायस्टीमा भी नहीं होगा. और जिन स्पीशीज में होता है वहां पे कनाइन और इंसीजर, जो भी कनाइन के पास वाला जो टीथ होता है उसमें एक गैप होता है, उस गैप को बोलते हैं डायस्टीमा. देन द teeth of humans are neatly aligned in a row, and our jaw is small and lightly built. We have a generalized dentition, means we eat a wide variety of foods that consist of plants, fruits, meats, grains, indicates an omnivorous diet. And the dental formula is 2-1-2-3. Two incisors, one canine, two premolars, and three molars on each side of the jaw. And this dentition, it is shared by all apes. Now chimpanzees. So chimpanzees and gorillas, they have robust dental and jaw structure, which reflects strong chewing needs and social display behavior. First, the dental arch is U-shaped, which is more rectangular than the parabolic arch seen in humans. Then they have large and pointed canines, especially in males. And वही फिर जो अभी आपको बताया कि फर्स्ट ईटिंग तो है ही है, बट साथ में तो डिस्प्ले डोमिनेंस और थ्रेट्स इन सोशल इंटरेक्शन. तो अगर canines large है तो diastema, a gap is present between incisors and canines. Then the molars and premolars, they are broad and strong. Molars and premolars, they are used for chewing tough food, or in case of chimpanzees and gorillas, they are there for chewing tough plant material. और again यहाँ पे उनका strong jaw, उनके strong molars and premolars, and a sagittal crest. तीनों के तीनों are because of they are feeding on tough plant material, tough fibrous material, because of their strong chewing needs. And gorillas in particular have very strong jaw muscles, and their jaws are heavy and protruding. And this feature is there because of handling large quantities of fibrous food like stem and leaves. Then males of both species, chimpanzees and gorilla, they show sexual dimorphism in canines, with males having noticeably larger canine than females. Then let's proceed on to orangutans. The dentition of orangutan, it reflects their solitary arboreal lifestyle and their fruit-heavy diet. Their dental arch, it is closer to U-shape, which is seen in chimpanzees. Then they have very large canines, and sexual dimorphism is seen, where males show significantly larger canines than females. Then if canines are larger, then diastema will be there. Then molars are there, which are adapted for crushing and grinding hard foods. So the diet, if it is consisted of hard cellulose, hard tough chewable material, so molars strong होंगे. Then even though they have strong jaw, it is less robust than in gorillas, which signifies that uh, even if their diet consists of tough material, tough fibrous material, but it isn't. The diet is not as tough as eaten by gorillas. They have orangutan. Their dentition, it supports a frugivorous diet. Frugivorous means fruit eating. A fruit जो है, they are not as tough as stems and leaves. Now, gibbons, so they are the smallest of apes and have lighter jaws and smaller teeth. The dental formula, सारे apes में 2 1 2 3. Then they have large canine for their body size, and if canines are there, so diastema will be there, and molars and premolars, which are smaller. So if they are smaller, it means they are not eating any hard or fibrous material, but they have shifted to more soft fruits and leaves. Then if their diet isn't consisted of hard material, tough tuber material, then their jaw will be less robust, and their dentition, it shows less sexual dimorphism, which is seen in other species like gorillas or orangutan. और वैसे भी gibbons के अंदर sexual dimorphism in body size and other secondary sexual characteristic, it is not there. Where the gibbon dentition reflect the fruit eating habits, eating soft material, and their less aggressive pair bonded lifestyle. Now, fifth characteristic पे पढ़ते हैं, hands and feet. The structure of hands and feet is closely related to whether the primate is arboreal, terrestrial, or both. First, humans. Humans have short fingers and long and strong thumbs, which is there for fine and precise movement, known as the precision grip. Then our thumb, it is fully opposable, which means opposability means uh, thumb, it can touch the tip of all other fingers, and this feature, it gives us the ability to grasp and manipulate small objects with greater control. But the big toe, the hallux, it is not opposable, जो पैर में अंगूठा है, and this feature, it is aligned with the rest of toe because it provides a stability for during walking. Then our foot structure, it is essential for efficient bipedalism. We have arch in the foot, and this arch act like a spring which absorb shocks and also give us push of power during walking and running. Then chimpanzees. So chimpanzees and gorilla, both species have long and curved fingers which are ideal for grasping branches and knuckle walking. Then their thumbs are shorter compared to human, which reduces precision, but it also helps them holding on with thick branches. Then their big toe, the hallux, the पैर का अंगूठा है, it is opposable, and this allow them to grasp objects and climb efficiently. And both of them, they perform knuckle walking. So उसके लिए the knuckles of the fingers, they are strong, and the structure of their hands, it has adapted to bear weight, to tolerate weight during knuckle walking. They have strong wrists and supportive ligaments. उनके जो forearms हैं, and the hand structure, it is quite strong. Then orangutan की तरफ बढ़ते हैं. So they have highly specialized lifestyle that is uh, exist in trees. So they have extremely long fingers and highly flexible hands. Both of these features act like hook onto branches, and by which they move slowly and carefully through forest canopy. Then their thumbs are relatively short, and short thumb का आपको इससे पहले भी बताया था कि if thumbs are short, then the precision will not be there, but it is essential to hold the branches and move without interference. Then the feet of orangutan, they're almost like second pair of hands. And the big toe, it is fully opposable, means उनके पैर का अंगूठा, it can touch any other finger in their leg. And the foot is prehensile also. Prehensile means it can grasp objects like a hand. Then these adaptations are helpful for orangutan because they often hang or climb using all four limbs. जो अभी आपको बताया था, they have unique locomotion. Quadrupedous locomotion means they use all their four limbs to climb on tree canopies. Then they have flexible hip and shoulder joints, which allow them to swing and twist in many directions while moving through trees. और ये flexible hip का भी आपको बताया, shoulder joints तो ठीक है, for movement are necessary. In flexible hip, it is a mechanism to share balance across different body parts. Now, gibbons. So gibbons are small, lightweight apes, but they are perhaps the most agile tree dwellers of all primates. That's why they are known as true brachiator or the most acrobats of all primates. They have exceptionally long arms and fingers, and their hands, जितने भी brachiators हैं, all of them, they have hands that are shaped like hooks, which are suited for brachiation. Then they have small thumb. So this is a small thumb. It may reduce the precision grip, but it actually help them prevent getting entangled or uh, interfering in their movement. तो क्योंकि अगर अंगूठा बड़ा है जैसे इंसानों में जो होता है, तो we have this adaptation because we need the precision grip. But जो brachiators हैं, उनको ऐसा मैकेनिज्म चाहिए कि उनका अंगूठा it does not interfere in their motion, in their locomotion. Then their fingers are curved like hooks, and gibbons के अंदर this unique feature is there that they have unique ball and socket joint in their wrist, so which allow a wide range of motion. Then they have been seen to walk bipedally along the branches, holding their arms up for the balance. And that's why अगर bipedal locomotion है, even if it is occasionally, so gibbons, they have this foramen magnum that is uh, anteriorly placed, means towards the center, just like humans. Then their feet are also prehensile, which means their feet can grasp tree branches while walking, or their feet are prehensile means they are likely to have opposable big toe. Now the sixth characteristic, pelvis and spine. So pelvis and spine, both these parts, they are closely linked to balance, posture, and internal organ support. First, in humans, so we are the only fully bipedal primates. The pelvis in humans, it is short, broad, and bowel shaped, and which supports our internal organs while walking upright. Then a wider pelvis, it provides strong attachment point for muscles that is used in walking and balance. The wider pelvis, in short, it provides stability while walking. Then the S-shaped spine, we this S-shaped spine, it has curve in neck, in upper back, and in lower back. Means these flexible points, and these curves, they are like shock absorber when we walk or run. Then the lumbar region, the lower back, it is more flexible in human. And then it allows us to bend and twist while walking. And then chimpanzee. So both chimpanzee and gorilla, they are primarily quadrupedal, means they walk on their four. So they have pelvis, which is long and narrow, which is suited for knuckle walking. Then their pelvis is flatter and it does not support the internal organs as efficiently in vertical position. Where spine is C-shape, only single curve is there, and this placement of this shape, it helps in forward-leaning posture and quadrupedal movement. Then they do not have the lower back flexibility. Their lumbar region, it is not that strong, and chimpanzees, they have been seen walking bipedally occasionally for short distances. Now orangutans are mainly arboreal, and their pelvis and spine are adapted for climbing rather than walking. They have long and narrow pelvis. Then hip joints are highly flexible, which perform a wide range of leg movement. Then they have straight spine, and finally they have strong lower backs and long curved vertebra, which support vertical climbing and hanging. So उनका जो unique locomotion है, the arboreal lifestyle with climbing and hanging, the swinging motion, तो उसके लिए जो adaptation है, first S-shaped spine, क्योंकि weight distribution even है, and weight distribution it is also supported by an external organ, the tree branches, because they are either hanging or climbing onto tree branches. So जो सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी के लिए जो एक्सटर्नल सपोर्ट है वो उनको मिल रहा है. वी ह्यूमंस वी डू नॉट हैव एनी एक्सटर्नल सपोर्ट. लाइक अगर आप किसी एक्सटर्नल सपोर्ट लाइक वॉकर की हेल्प से अगर आप वॉक करना चाहेंगे, देन इट मीन्स योर बॉडी हैज बीन गिवन एन एक्सटर्नल ऑर्गन, अ मोर ऑर्गन. फिर उसकी वजह से जो जो सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी है, जो तो क्या कह सकते हैं वेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, वो फिर अनइवन हो जाएगा. लाइक यू माइट हैव सीन जो हैंडीकैप लोग होते हैं, जो चलने के लिए यूज सम टूल्स, लाइक हाथ के लिए कुछ यूज करते हैं. यू यू माइट हैव सीन दैट उनके जो हैंड्स जो हैं या फोर आर्म्स जो हैं वो बहुत स्ट्रांग होती है. और फिर जो लोग पैर का ज़्यादा यूज करते हैं, उनके जो पैरों की मसल्स जो हैं, लेग मसल्स, दे आर स्ट्रांग. स्ट्रांग थाइज, कह सकते हैं स्ट्रांग काफ्स. तो यही सेम चीज ओरंगुटैन में भी है. दे आर यूजिंग एन एक्सटर्नल मैकेनिज्म, और एक्सटर्नल मैकेनिज्म की वजह से या एक्सटर्नल टूल की वजह से जो वेट डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है, इट इज डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड इवनली बिटवीन द ट्री ब्रांच एंड द क्लिंगिंग ओरंगुटैन. तो दैट्स व्हाई देयर स्पाइन इज स्ट्रेट. फिर शॉक जो है वो इट इज बीइंग distributed, or it is being laden on to that branch. And second thing, he, while performing this locomotion, the quadrumanous locomotion, their hands, their hands are gripping this particular branch, but their feet, their prehensile feet, it, they are performing the an imaginary walking. So here, weight distribution, you can see this way, that these are hands which are clinging on to these tree branches, whereas their feet performing the act of climbing. तो यहाँ पे weight distribution आप देख सकते हैं. Half of the weight will be distributed on this tree branch. The other half जो है उसका center of gravity will be on the lower back. So that's why they have strong lower backs. Then gibbons. The gibbons are the lightest and most agile of all apes because of their true brachiation and arm swinging. Their pelvis is small and flexible, which help them move easily through trees and maintain balance while swinging. So since they are acrobatic, so the whole skeletal, so pelvis, legs, skull feature, all of them, they would display this agility. So you can see the pelvis are lightweight and small, and flexible, and spine it is relatively straight, just like orangutan. So यहाँ पे भी same चीज है, क्योंकि the weight is being distributed from one tree branch to another, since they are swinging and leaping across the tree branches. So the weight distribution it doesn't have to affect their bodies or their spines, क्योंकि हम जो है humans, हमारी बॉडी में जितना भी लोड है या शॉक है उसका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हमारी थाइस पे, हमारे पेल्विस पे और हमारी स्पाइन पे होता है. बट since if external mechanism is there, if you are swinging across, so the real force will be on your hands and your lower back. Then their spine, it allows for a wide range of motion, especially particularly in the upper body. Then next characteristic, brain and behavior. So primates, they are generally more intelligent than other animals. And since primates are an older under mammals because we have we have evolved from mammals, so we are more intelligent than them. Now, first humans, so the largest and most complex brain from 1350 to 1450, and our brain supports language, culture, imagination, abstract thinking, and moral reasoning. Humans have been seen to be capable of high level tool making, and we can communicate through spoken and written language. We have a strong sense of self awareness, and we have our behavior is deeply shaped by cultures. So हम ही हैं तो समझाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Now chimpanzees. Chimpanzees are also extremely intelligent and considered the closest relative of human in terms of brain function. क्योंकि chimpanzees के साथ we share almost 99% of our DNA. And the brain size 350 to 400 cc, and they are capable of making and using tools. And they show problem solving skills, strategic thinking, such as hunting in groups, and emotional expressions. And they also have a strong sense of social bondings and having seen uh, working in a dominance hierarchy. Then the communication is mostly through facial expressions, body gestures, and a range of vocalizations. And research has shown that chimpanzees also show signs of empathy. And in some studies, chimpanzees have been taught to use sign language or symbol-based communication, which show their learning ability or cognitive flexibility. Now, gorillas are also highly intelligent. The brain size 500 to cc. A tool use is in gorilla is less frequent, and they have gentle social behavior among family members. They form strong bonds, especially mothers and infants, and they live in stable social groups, which are especially led by a dominant male silverback. And they communicate using grunts, chest beating, and chest thumping, and facial expression. And they can also be trained to understand basic human gestures and signs. And gorillas are capable of learning and emotional expression. In studies with captive gorilla like Kobo, they have shown that they can learn sign language and express feeling. Now, orangutan, they are considered the most intelligent of all primates with a brain size of 400 to 500 cc's. Most intelligent of all primates other than humans. They are solitary, but they show remarkable problem solving abilities. They have been seen using sticks to extract seeds, using leaves as an umbrella or sponges, and even crafting simple tools. First instance among any other primate. Then they have an excellent memory, especially for mapping the location of fruits or the remembering the food availability. पहले कहाँ किस जगह से food मिला था, so they remember it very well. And they are also very good at imitating human actions. And their social interaction is less frequent because of their solitary lifestyle, but they communicate through vocal calls, facial expressions, and orangutans have been seen to be showing curiosity, learning abilities, and they have signs of self-awareness and shown mirrors. Finally, gibbons. So gibbons, they are less cognitively advanced than any other great apes. Their brain it is also smaller, 100 to 130, and they are known for musical vocalization, also called duets. The male or female pairs जो हैं, they started singing together. So these duets are there between the mated pair to defend territory and strengthen bonds. Where they are monogamous means they usually form lifelong pairing bonds, which is rare among primates. And their vocal and social behavior, it suggests strong family ties, pair bonding, and cooperative defense of territories. और यहाँ पे गिब्बन से जो सोशल कल्चर फिनोमिना जो है वो हम काफी सारे समझ सकते हैं. Then finally, conclusion. So humans stand out with their upright bipedal posture, advanced brain size, and rich culture and language. Chimpanzees show tool use, complex social bonds, and problem-solving abilities. And gorillas, with their powerful build and emotional depth, they reflect different style of intelligence. Orangutan, they are deeply thoughtful with a strong memory and creative tool use. And gibbons, they are amazing acrobats of the forest, but they display strong pairing bond and musical vocalization. तो यहाँ पे हर एक species है जो है they have adapted to their own environment, and these differences they are shaped by millions of years of evolution. And finally, despite physical differences, all these apes show some form of intelligence, communication, and social behavior. And this reminds us that humans are not separate from nature, but part of the great ape family that is shaped by evolution. So this is it. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the channel. If there is something that I might have missed, drop the comments. Put some in the app. Drop the comments. There may be some sections that I did not thoroughly explain. So skip ho sakta hai because these are usually long lectures. So you can drop the comment anytime. This is it.